That's a lot of parts. So we've been getting parts together for our next project. It's another building for the Lego City. We've got instructions for it off of rebrickable, and hopefully we've now got all the pieces so we can get started. But what is this project, I hear you ask? Well, let me show you a minifigure that might be a bit of a clue. Yep, that's right, you guessed it, we are building a modular hospital. Lego won't do it, so we might as well do it ourselves. So let's take a look at the hospital we are building. So if we head over to rebrickable, we can find the Modular General Hospital by Modularbuildingslover. Now check this out. This thing is incredible. It looks fantastic. It's over 4 separate floors, over 2 whole base plates, and just looks incredible. The detail on this is fantastic. Just so many different, incredibly detailed hospital elements to it, from the ambulance entrance that all hospitals have. They come through. There's a reception area, emergency room area. First we did the modular school, and now it's the modular hospital. This could be a new series of buildings Lego won't make. Hopefully a short one, because it sounds expensive. As you can see, we've got a lot of parts here. It's a combination of parts from our own storage, Bricklink orders, and even a Lego Pick-a-Brick online order. And it also uses 2 base plates, one of which are the old style road base plate, which I think is pretty cool. But I'm going to show you the Lego Pick-a-Brick order right now. So this was the largest expense of the whole order. And basically it is a lot of large white plates. We've got some 16 by 16 white plates in there, some 16 by 16 light bluish grey plates, 16 by 8 plates, just a lot of plates. And then also we needed a lot of 2 by 2 tiles. There we've got a lot of white ones, and then also some light bluish grey ones. Doesn't that look good? So that's 6,030 parts that I now need to sort out so we can get building. So you join me down here on the floor, and if you're a 40-something Lego builder like myself, I don't recommend this. My back! Oh, my back! But what I like to do when I'm doing these types of builds, well, I don't like doing this because it's a lot of work, but I get all the parts and I tip them out, and then we'll go through the instructions step by step, getting the pieces together. And rather than finding the pieces and building that step, and then going back to the next step and finding those pieces again, I get all of the steps together so that I can build it all in one go. So you get that building experience that's like a normal set, rather than having to stop and look around for the parts, because sometimes it can take you up to 5-10 minutes just to find the tiniest 1x1 tile, which is pretty annoying. So this is what I like to do. It's not probably not the most effective thing, but that's just the way that we do it. So I've got a lot of steps together so far. I am at step 46, but I might get Preston to begin building this while I continue to look for the parts. Okay, so I've got a little update for you here. Preston has completely tiled the ground floor of the hospital. I'll just spin this around so you can see it. There we go, there it is. It's all gloriously tiled, looks absolutely fantastic. Let me I'll have a quick run through of what we've got going on in this hospital. So this is the road entrance to the hospital for the ambulances. This is obviously where they'll park. That will look really good when I've got 2 ambulances just parked in there. I think that's going to look really nice. Down here, obviously, the entrance to the hospital. This is where there's going to be a couple of rows of benches for like the waiting area and stuff. This will be the elevator that takes you to the upper levels. That there will be the reception desk, and in this section here is the emergency room. Obviously they're going to be coming in from the ambulances, and this is where they'll get seen to first and assessed, and then see whether they're good enough to go home or move on to the wards, like the trauma wards, or maybe even surgery, who knows. So far so good, it's looking really good, and I'm very excited to continue with this. I'm still obviously on the floor searching for parts so that we can carry on building it. I have got more steps that Preston can get on with. I'm going to let him do some of those, and then we'll have another little update in a moment. Here's a progress update on the hospital so far. we got a bit carried away and we've finished the ground floor. So here is the ground floor of the Modular General Hospital by Modularbuildingslover. I'm absolutely loving this at the minute. It's so good. The detail inside is incredible. And I'm just so excited to continue building this and see how it looks in the end. So we're going to dive in and take a look at the inside, all the different features and details in there. But before we do that, I do want to say that I have swapped out some parts to this build, either because I've got them cheaper from the Lego store Pick-a-Brick wall, or just from my own stores. It was easier to use them than rather buy them in from Bricklink or something like that. So I just want to make that clear before we look at it, but let's dive in and take a look. So as you can see, the hospital spans over 2 base plates, one of them being an old style road base plate that the hospital is built into. And obviously that's the entrance for the ambulance bay. This looks really good. In there you can see we've got on the floor bay 1 and bay 2. Got some lights there shining on the road and an ambulance sign and emergency only as well. These are stickers from the Lego City Hospital 60204, and it's also got this one here that's from that same set, directing you to the right zones of the hospital. And then we've also got the hospital entrance signified by that big red H above the doors. That looks really cool. And these doors, one of them is a slidable door that slides open, which is pretty cool. And then the other one swings open into the building. So if you leave that open, it blocks the people in the waiting area. So I'll probably leave them both closed because that just looks really good there. So that's the entrance to, like I said, the reception area. So if we take a look at that. So this is the waiting rooms. Good, nice area. And in here we've got 2 rows of seats. There's a stack of papers in the corner, because if it's anything like UK hospitals, these people are going to be waiting for hours. There's also a little soda can on the side of one of those benches as well. And then we've also got an elevator shaft as well. If I just open up the door, you can see that this is an elevator that will lead up to the floors above. That's a good addition as well. I like that. It's also got a wheelchair ramp access. And then if we just spin it around, there is also a receptionist desk there. It's got a little computer. And then on the screen, here, we've got some patient information. I think that this is also from that Lego City set 60204. So that's another nice addition. And as you can see, we've got these pieces here that signify a curtain. I think this was quite a nice build. And that will lead through to the treatment area. So I spun the set around and we're looking at it from the other side of that reception area. And this is the treatment rooms. This is where people are going to come in from those ambulances or from the reception area, and when they're going to get first assessed by the medical staff. In here we've got a couple of stretchers and also a little bench there which has got some medical equipment on there, like a syringe, some scissors, maybe an IV drip, and also maybe a blood sample that's been taken. These are all loose. They don't fix to the ground or anything, and I'm not a big fan of that in Lego sets. As you can see, when you move the set, they just move around. But once it's placed in the city, that shouldn't be a problem. So the treatment room is separated into 2 separate bays. In there you've got this stretcher. There's a couple of IV drips in them, and there's also some hospital equipment in there as well. This is supposed to be a monitor. On there again is another sticker from that 60204 set. But while that set only has one of these stickers, that sticker is used multiple times in this set, so it's going to be hard to source. So I'm going to have to come up with some sort of other arrangement to have that type of sticker on so many of these monitors. It's some sort of heart monitor where it's taking the heart rate of the patient. So that's on multiple tiles. So I'm going to have to source that sticker somehow. I might be able to print it off myself multiple times and then just stick it on there. I mean, it shouldn't be too much of an issue because it's inside the set. So that could be one option. And then in these cubicles as well, there's some machinery. Could be taking heart rates and blood pressure, and they are great additions to these two cubicles as well. So as for parts that I've swapped out on the build so far, the original build had light bluish, no, what is it? Not light bluish, light trans blue. So as for parts that I've swapped out on the build so far, the original design had light trans blue panels, and I thought that trans clear would be a lot better. You can see into the building better. If it was ever to have a light kit fitted, you could just see everything that's going on inside. So I decided to swap those out for the trans clear panels. This row of light bluish grey masonry bricks is another part that I added instead of the 1x2 grill bricks that the instructions suggested. Again, these are just bricks I had, so instead of having to get the grill bricks in from Bricklink, I decided to use these masonry bricks. It's going to bring down costs and was just a lot easier to use these as well. So I recently did a video discussing why LEGO might not want to make a modular building hospital, and one of the reasons was that it might not be fun for LEGO fans to build. And I can agree, while this building looks great, it's not exactly fun. Oh wow, I've built a waiting area and an elevator. So let's see if we can change that using minifigures. So the first patient going in is this sick little girl. Not too sure why she's stood on the chair, but she's also got her worried mother there with her too. Dad's there too, but he's not as concerned, especially because he's got his paper that he's reading from the corner of the waiting room. There's another patient in the waiting room too, this girl. Of course, she's had a skateboarding accident. What else is new? But there is some good news. This guy's been discharged. He's had a fresh cast put on his leg and off he goes. We need a receptionist in the waiting area, and this one looks perfect. Oh no, wait a minute, she needs her mobile phone. There you go. Now she's perfect, ready to ignore all of the patients. Over in the treatment area, we need our first patient. And this guy does not look happy. He looks distressed. Oh no, it's because he hates syringes and the nurse is about to inject him. He's making such a fuss that it's distracting the janitor who's trying to clean up the floors. And there you go, just with a few minifigures, you can change the whole scene of this ground floor hospital. And I think that they make it feel a lot more fun. So there you have it. That is the update for the modular hospital. And just like any course of antibiotics, you can't take it all in one go. So make sure to subscribe so you don't miss the next update. I'd love to hear your thoughts on the modular hospital so far. So drop them in the comments below. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to hit that like button and we'll see you in the next update.